Motivate Me, Nick Kastelein.
I love motivational speeches. You know what a good motivational speech is like? It's like when you have wilting celery. You know how celery, as it gets older, it goes limp and wilts? You know, you take a bunch of old celery and throw it down on the cutting board and they flop all over one another like a bunch of teenagers in a college common room. It's disgusting. And it tastes disgusting too. And that's not because it's wilting, that's just because it's celery. But if you take some wilting celery and you put it into water, then by means of what's called reverse osmosis, the water presses itself into the cells of the celery, which expand and grow, and the celery stands up tall and proud again. And that, fellow Toastmasters and non-Toastmasters, is what a good motivational speech is like. Just kidding. I actually can't stand motivational speeches. You know, I can basically approach a motivational speech from one of two emotional perspectives, simplifying a bit. I'm either happy or I'm grumpy. Now, if I'm grumpy, then on the outside I look like this. But on the inside, I'm kind of channeling my inner teenager. Now, in that context, motivational speaker steps forward and says, happiness comes from within. You can be happy if you want to. And inner teenager me says, yeah, right, so now it's my fault. Yeah, you blame the victim. You don't understand me. Go away. Now, on the other hand, I might be happy. Okay, now if I'm happy on the outside, I look like this. But on the inside, right, I'm running my inner mixtape, right? It's like, footloose, kick up your Saturday shoes. Pardon me. And in that context, motivational speaker steps forward and says, you could be happy if you put your mind to it. And mixtape me says, yeah, I'm already happy. Why are you telling me that? You're patronising me, aren't you? Why are you patronising me? You condescending sod. Look, now you've made me grumpy. Just go away. You don't understand me. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation, isn't it? Like, in fact, it always is with teenagers. You know, it's not so much putting celery in water, more like a cat in water. But we love motivational speeches, don't we? You know, we love things that are profound. Several years ago, I was watching a documentary on the ABC, and this presenter had a wonderful accent. He loved the word profound. He got down on the beach and he said, if you build a sandcastle, then over time, the action of the wind and the waves will turn that sandcastle into a meaningless jumble of sand. But it will never turn that meaningless jumble of sand back into a sandcastle. Isn't it profound? And I'm like, well, yeah, I suppose it is profound. I mean, you could also say it's somewhat obvious to a toddler. But in fact, I don't think we need things to actually be profound. We just like things that sound profound. And anyone can do that. Check this out, right? What do you, the chair over there, and a giraffe in Africa all have in common? Well, you're all touching the air, aren't you? Now, it's something like a metaphor, you know, the atmosphere, it's like this great big blanket that embraces us all. But it's also the thing that comes between us, except when we touch. It's a bit like the hills at the Wingfield landfill project. They're deep, but they're still rubbish. Now, I have a principle that I'm considering patenting. It's called the Kastelein principle of diminishing agreement. And if you take a standard sort of line from a motivational speech, my agreement initially starts at 100%, like indeed everyone's does, and then it just decreases from there. You know? So, for instance, we could say, all right, reach for your goals and don't let anything stand in your way. Reach for your goals and don't let anything stand in your way. Not anything. You know, not all your friends and family, the people that love you and want good things for you and want to protect you from the, you know, the inevitable failure that you're heading for. Don't Don't let anyone get in your way. None of them, none of those pesky people and their annoying little compassion, right? Push them to the right, push them to the left. Kick them, kill them. What happened? I like this phrase at the start. All right, let's try it again. Reach for your goals and don't let anything stand in your way. Because the last thing that you ever want is to be content with what you have. I mean, let's face it, contentment really is a kind of inferior happiness for unsuccessful people, isn't it? You know, you and me, we're wiser than that. You know, we know that we will only be happy if we have more than we have. Having more than we have, of course, is impossible. So we'll never be happy, but hey, we've got a good shot at success, right? It happens every time. It's like a law. You know, someone shared with me on Facebook a book recommendation, a book entitled How to Get Other People to Do What You Want Them to Do. So thank you for that book recommendation. I have two for you. This one's called Stop Telling Everyone What to Do. This one's called What People Aren't Saying to Your Face. You know, I suggest you look at chapter 11. I am a self-conceited, ambitious, oh, sorry, you don't like my book recommendations? Yeah, well, ditto, so get off my Facebook feed. Look, I'm an engineer. And yeah, that means I'm not naturally attuned to the squishy things in life. And it's a pretty bold idea. It's a pretty bold idea that can get through those layers of sarcasm, cynicism, and flagrant misrepresentation and reach the real me on the inside, if indeed there is such a thing. But, and this is just a little bit serious. I do think we need to be discerning with what we listen to. Don't just bathe in anything, make sure it's clean first. And be really healthily cynical if you hear an idea that's telling you exactly what you want to hear. Well, where are you today? Do you feel like that celery? Are you ageing, wilting, a bit limp, flaccid, pale green colour? You taste disgusting? Do you need to bathe in the waters of a motivational speech? Well, no. You need a doctor.